What's going on, SC430 community? My name is Henry. Today's video, we're going to be doing a multitude of things. We're going to be overhauling majority of the inside, so we're talking the leather seats, any speaker issues that I run into while I'm taking the leather seat out for the front and the back. And then we're also going to be replacing basically majority of the roof lining assembly. So we're talking these guys up here all the way up for the roof and then all the way back. Reason being is previous owner of this car most likely had a dog in the back, and there is quite a bit of scratch marks damage, and the ones I'm going to be replacing with are black, so I'm just going to go entirely black interior. So today we're going to be doing the roof lining assembly. So I'll have the manual pulled up right now on screen. You can see there is quite a bit we have to do. It looks like we have to have the roof, the convertible, open up about halfway. I'll show you guys how to do that manually, just for the sake of the video. And then the tools, it looks like more or less we're just going to be using a bunch of picks, some prying tools, and a screwdriver here and there. Other than that, I think that's just about it. Most of them are just a lot of plastic fasteners, so once we get to that point, I'll show you what plastic fasteners we're going to be using. I'll also show you the part numbers as well. You can get them at your Lexus dealership, no problem. A little pricey, but we want to be able to use the correct plastic fasteners, and obviously reuse some if they're still in good condition, right? So let's get started. Alright, so now that we are inside the GoPro, you can see why I want to change everything out. I might as well go all black. You can see right here, this one is missing the plastic fastener that goes here. So when I'm driving, it kind of vibrates a little bit when the hood is being opened up and makes some noise or it gets caught. There is quite a bit of damage on the inside. Some dirt marks that I can't remove. Trying to use whatever I can. But this is what it looks like right now. This is all OEM. We're going to try to swap all of this so it's entirely black on the inside. So yeah, let's get started. According to the repair manual, we're going to start by opening the hood halfway. Alright, so to get started, we're going to have to open up the trunk. So let's just say, for example, this button isn't working to open the trunk because the battery or whatever, there's some disconnect. Let's do it manually. I'm going to open up the center console. I'm going to move some junk out of the way. You can see here this carpeting, right? This is what you're going to want to take out right here. So to do so, try to use your finger to get it out like this. So I just got this out. So take the carpeting out. You can see it's a little dirty, but there is a symbol of a vehicle with the trunk open. Pull this bad boy out. You can see there is a cable right here. You just want to give that cable a nice tug. You'll hear the trunk pop open. Good to go. Then we can just put this back, like so. And put the carpet back in here. That's good. Now to manually opening up the hood. We want to start by taking this plastic cap off. I know I said we're only going to be using some prying tools and some picks. So in this case, we're going to be using an Allen wrench to unlock the part right where the locking mechanism is, about right here and right here for closing and opening the hood. Obviously, if you want to, you can always use the button, no problem, and just stop halfway. So we're going to start by removing this clip. you go, pops right out. This is what the clip's gonna look like, or the cover, whatever you want to call it. Here, might be hard to see, but there is a spot to put in an Allen wrench. Now, sometimes, if you've had your SC for a long time, or you're the original owner, there is a bag of tools in your trunk that will have a tool to put in here to undo. So let's go grab a tool to make sure we can get this open. Alright, so this is what I grabbed. This is the Allen key or Allen wrench, whatever you want to call it. It comes with the SC430 in the trunk. It'll have you know, where the spare tire would be, the jack, things like that. There is an Allen key or Allen wrench that comes with it. I don't really know at the top of my head what the size is, but I know for sure it is an Allen key. So make sure you use this. So we're gonna put this guy in here. You want to do this slowly because remember, these are controlled by motors, so you want to be very slow. Don't want to do it too quickly, otherwise we'll potentially damage the motor. You want to keep turning it up until you basically get a lot of resistance, just so you know it's fully unlocked. And a good way to know, as you saw me lifting the roof a little bit, see if there's any give. If you feel it moving a little bit, then that means you should be good to go. Now on to manually opening the trunk high enough to move the roof. Alright, so now we got the trunk. You want to pull the cable to open this up, so this should already open. You want to open this as much as you can. Right? Let's see in here. This green cable, you want to pull this out, both sides. And so this is a two-man job according to the repair manual. You're going to want to pull this cable while simultaneously grabbing this guy right here as a handle and lifting up. Then you'll see this whole mechanism kind of go out straight vertically, and then you want to go basically as far as you can vertically upward, up until basically when you let go it's not falling back down to this initial position. So we're going to grab some help and get this done. There you have it. That's what the hood's going to look like. Wrong hand. It's going to go straight vertically up, like I said. Make sure that the whole mount goes up straight. It does take a lot of effort because, again, you have to go slow and gradual because they are on motors, so you don't want to damage those. So that's why in the repair manual it specifically asks that you have to use 2 people. So keep that in mind. And then now onto the roof. Same thing, powered by motors. It can be done by one person for everything, but it takes a lot of effort. So since we already released the roof right from the inside using the Allen key, we should be able to just basically push it right up, and you know, and the way the roof goes up, right, just as if you were just pressing the button. Just follow the same motion, and then we're going to lift it up to only the halfway mark. There you have it. We got the roof. Damn, I keep using the wrong hand. About halfway up. Again, as you can see, it takes quite a bit of effort. So it is recommended that you get another person to help you out. Now that we have everything set up, we can start taking things apart. Okay, now that we have the roof open, we're going to start by just following step by step through the repair manual. And according to the repair manual, we're going to start by removing the door scuff plate assembly for the driver's side and passenger side. I'm looking down right now because I have the manual on the floor, by the way. So let's get started with the scuff plate. So according to the repair manual, taking this bad boy out, the scuff plate, there is 12 anchor points. They're all plastic fasteners, so you don't really have to worry about too much of them breaking because they're not separate plastic fasteners, they're built in with the scuff plate. So best way to do it, I usually try to see if I can get my finger in here and just kind of pull it upward, because you don't want to do it on this side because then you would end up, you know, damaging and possibly scratching up the paint of the car. So we're gonna try to see if I can do this with one hand with the camera in the other. I'm gonna start at the end. So you can hear the pop. Just go nice all the way across. Be careful not to pry it off too much, because if you remember, at night this Lexus lights up. So we're gonna wanna make sure we take the cord out and unplug it. So this up, this up, there we go. So now, behind here should be a cord. There it is. You can make sure to disconnect that right there. So unplugged, nice and easy. According to the repair manual, there was 12 anchor points, but the repair manual that I have is for 2003, I believe. Yeah, 2003, and mine's a 2002. So even though it said 12 anchor points, as you can see here, I only got 2, 4, 5 anchor points. Any reason why? Not sure. There is a couple other plastic built-in ones in here that probably pop into place. Yeah, that's right. So you got one up here, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 on the end, and then this middle piece right here, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm missing one. Where is it? 12. There's 2 on one end. So yeah, so now let's get started by doing the other side as well. All right, so now we're on the passenger side. We're gonna do the same exact thing that we did on the driver's side, starting on the end and then working your way up to the other. All right, on to the next step of the repair manual is taking off this side trim right here to lead up to this guy, the pillar. So same thing with this one. These are just plastic. They are just simple popped in pieces of plastic, probably using plastic fasteners. So we're going to start by trying to get your hand in here. Just pull it out. There is an anchor point right here where my finger is. And then from where I can feel it, there is another one right here. So we're going to pull right here. So I already popped that one out. And what it feels like, there's probably another one right here. Most likely one right here. So it looks like the rubber piece is coming out with it. So let's see the anchor, the plastic going into this anchor that is connected to the rubber trim. So let's take that out. If the rubber comes out like so, not a big deal. Just make sure you put it back in place because there is glue there. This is very difficult to do by one hand. Now that I got it out, again, make sure you put the rubber back. Make sure the clips are still there as well. You don't want to lose those. You need those. As you can see, the anchors, 1, 2, 3, and then the one on the end for the scuff plate. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, and then we're going to start by taking this out. This is the same exact thing, plastic, all plastic. This one is just a little iffy because you have the gap that's like all the way back here. So you have to really be careful when taking this out. You want to make sure you go in this direction and pulling it out towards the camera as well. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher for me just because I have the, what's it called? It's one of Calvin's SC430 mods, like a digital odometer. Alright, same thing on this side. The camera's getting really hot already, but I'm going to do as much as I can. Pop this guy out. Oh, look at that. Pop. Here we go. I'm still on the passenger side, so I might as well do it now. We're going to start right up here at the top. Pop it out like that. And then for the bottom, you kind of want to just slide it towards yourself. And up like that. There you go. Nice and easy. Couple anchor points to remember. The top where we pulled it from, and then the middle. So we have a very small clip right here. It's very difficult to see. That clip right there, that's that middle one. And you got one right here. So make sure you still have that. If not, make sure you put it back in place or get with the dealership and they most likely have it, or make your own makeshift one. It should be fine. And then again, there was nothing down here. It's just a plastic piece that just sits right there. If you're wondering what this hose is, this is in case you have a leak in the roof. This is where all the water would go. It would go all the way down here and then outside. And then the wiring goes up into this guy. Alright, on to the driver's side. Doing the same exact thing we did before. I'm going to pull it from right here. There's an anchor spot. Boop. And then you got one right here. It's already popped out. And then we're going to go up and towards you. So I might have some issues because I do have a wire that's kind of sitting in it. There we go. Comes right out. Check your anchor points to make sure they're still there. This one's still good. This one is a little loose, but looks like she's still in there. And there's this really suspicious wire that does not look familiar. Again, I did have some aftermarket parts in here when I bought the car and I took them out, so this may have been one of those parts that I just never took out with the wiring. So, now for the next part is taking out this dome light and this as well. And now for the dome light specifically, I do have Calvin's SC430 mods little LED strip that goes all the way across. So we're gonna have to take that out as well. Alright, so we're gonna get started with the visors. So to take the visors out, I'm gonna pop this guy out, move this out the way. This guy right here is a cover piece. And I believe there is a screw underneath that we need to take that out. This guy, I believe you just twist it counterclockwise, like if you were loosening it. There you go. Had to get some pliers because it was really hard to turn for whatever reason. But you'll hear it pop. And then you twist it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then you should be able to just pull it right out. So that's, as you can see, it's a very special mechanism for putting it in and taking it out. Now we're going to start with the cover I said right here. So, 3 anchor points. Very difficult to see, but you got one right here. There's a little tab, very small tab. one right here, and then one right at the top. So then, as you can see here, got 2 screws, and then the whole visor comes out. So those are the screws that are right here. And then taking this out, be careful. There is, I believe, a wire. We want to make sure we disconnect it right there, so as you can see. Make sure to disconnect that, and then the visor will come out. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. All right, same exact thing on the passenger side.
A lot of water. This one, if you're not leaking, it'll work really well. Better.
Alright, camera ended up overheating the GoPro, so we're on to the other camera. So next step in the repair manual is taking this guy out right here, this little plastic cover. Same thing with the other side, and then we're going to do the dome lights. So let's get started with the dome lights because we want to go in order from the repair manual. This is where it gets really tricky. Taking the lights out right here on both sides. There is a lot of times where you would damage the outside trim of the actual dome light assembly itself, so be careful when you're taking it out. Pry it in the correct spots. There's 4, so 2, 4, 2, 4. Best way to do it, in my opinion, is going from the back end. So if there is any damage that may happen, it's not going to be really noticeable than if you were to do it up in the front, closer to your field of view. Alright, now that they're off, we're going to start prying this out. Use a pick. Try to see if I can get in there. Pry it off at the corner. Might need to use a different pick. Right angle pick. Right here. Like so. So, you want to make sure, again, the anchor points 1, 2, 3, 4. Apologize for the blurriness, but be careful when you take it out. See how I didn't go from the sides where damage could have possibly happened. I did on this end. I ended up not doing any damage at all. So, I'm going to do that with the other side. There we go. Then you want to take the bulb out. So, as you can see here, I have a very modified setup. Reason being is because I wanted to have the dome light and Calvin's SC430 strip light across. So I cut a little bit of the wire casing just so I could fit the wire and the bulb in there itself. So we're going to disconnect the wire, take the bulb out. To take the bulb out is a twist and then go out this way. And for this one, twist going out that way, twisting it counterclockwise, obviously. And then after that, there is going to be a screw right there, and then a screw right there. And then using your hand, you would, grab it by the whole thing and then pull it down. So let's get started with unplugging. So then we should be able to pull it out. So I do have, again, aftermarket wiring in here. So I might have to do a little bit of extra to take it out. So taking it out, try to see where you can get your grip on it, and then just pull straight down. It should pop up like that. I want to be careful with these assemblies as they do have a tendency to fail. So now that we got it down, there is going to be, for you, one wire to worry about. So if I pull to the side right here, this wire right here, this is you want to make sure you unplug that. So unplug that, and then I have some aftermarket wiring, so I need to unplug those. Unplug goes. There we go. So now, got ourselves a dome light. Okay, so now onto here. There is an anchor point right here, right in the middle. And there is an anchor point right here. So we're going to be careful in taking that out. So let's see if I can do this with one hand. Using this prying tool. Oh, nice and easy. Popped out. Very nice. We want it to make it as easy as possible. And then we're got right here. Maybe might be a good spot. Yep, so I don't know, it might be difficult to see, but right where my tool is, there is the anchor. Boop, popped out, nice and easy, like that, there it is. So you see the anchor this side, on this side. And then the plastic piece that holds it in, popped out, so we're gonna put that back in place. So let's put this to the side, all the other parts. Let's go 2 for 2. Go right here. Uh-oh. Well, don't do that. Alright, so now we got all those out. There's going to be an anchor point right here. And an anchor point on that side. Once you pop those out, you want to move it this way, because there will be a couple anchor points right up here on the edge. Right, so let's get to that. There's the first plastic fastener on the driver's side. It was put in just straight up like so. Used the prying tool to pop it out. It goes in this hole right here. So when you pry it out, go upward, then same thing for the other side, and then you want to pull it out that way.
Don't do it when we don't see comfortable, you know.
Alright, so now that we got the 2 plastic fasteners out, I'm going to pull this bad boy out. This is just going to go straight, like I said, towards the camera now, and it should just come right out. That easy peasy. That's the plastic fasteners, so be careful about those. We want to make sure we can keep those. So, the plastic fasteners that held that small plastic piece before we the plastic pieces that were like right up here at the top had the little plastic, so we're going to make sure we keep those. So next step is for the rear view mirror. So there is a plastic section right here, and then this guy. So you want to take this plastic piece off, and then we can take the rear view mirror. To do that, once this is out, you kind of just turn this counterclockwise, about quarter turn per se. So we're going to take that plastic piece out, like I mentioned. Let's see if I can just do it on my end. So this one has 4 anchor points. You can see the 2 right here. And then you got the 2 on the sides. There you go. Again, turning counterclockwise. It's a little tough to do, but it'll leave this, which is where the mirror goes into right here. There's a mechanism right here to put it in. So now we're going to unplug this. There we go. Now we got the rear view mirror. Alright, now that it's the next day, I'm going to start by taking off these side pillars right here. Here's we got 1, 2, 3 screws, both sides. And then we're going to remove this side pillar. There is a plastic fastener up here. Mine is missing, so it's not there, but there's a plastic fastener you want to pop out. And then the rest, obviously, anchor points. There's quite a few over here, in the middle, on the side. You want to make sure you grab it by the anchor point, right, to pop it out. Otherwise, if you don't, you're going to break something, just like how I broke this piece over here. And then from there, So then you take the roof off. Some push pins here, you can see there's one here, one in the middle, and then one on the other side. And then I believe sometimes there might be a plastic fastener here, so we're gonna have to take this guy out as well first before going to the roof. So we'll be taking this guy off, this right here, and then the roof, and then the back panel piece right here. So let's get to it. There appears to be an anchor point all the way down here. This one is plastic, so nothing you have to unscrew. You just have to use something like a pick to just get it out of the hole that it's sitting in to pop it out. So there you go. So this is what I'm talking about right here. This plastic piece. Plastic fastener that was inside like this, so all I did was kind of pried it out to push it out this way to make sure it gets out of the hole, and then I just pulled it right out. So we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Go like so again with the plastic fastener, pried it out, turned it just to I can get a better angle to pull it out, and then obviously those 3 screws, then comes out easy peasy. There is the plastic fastener. It's very, very tiny. These are definitely going to be hard to come by, so definitely don't want to lose this. You can see the anchor points for the plastic fasteners. We have that really tiny one that's up here. Got one here, 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 and here. So there's quite a few on there, so make sure when you're grabbing it out, right, so it was put in like this, you want to grab it at the anchor points. So always nice start in the center. There was one right here. I ended up grabbing it right here around this area and just kind of slowly try to pry it open, and you could hear it pop, which means it came out. Or you can use even the prying tools, right, to get them out. So we're going to do the same thing but with the other side now. Like the same thing on the other side, the anchor points, right? We had the small one that's missing right here at the edge. Got one here, one here, one here, and then you can see there's 3 missing right here. So that reason being because they are still attached. They still look pretty good, so they might be reusable. We might not have to use a new one, but whatever happened to the previous owner, they just never did it. I mean, I can tell someone was in it before because of zip ties. Good old nice zip ties. For the roof, very simple. There's like several anchor points just all throughout. So my suggestion is probably starting at the middle and then work your way out, or even start on the ends and just work your way across. Now on to the next part, which is the side pieces of the roof, both sides, and then we can actually take the roof piece off. We have quite a few anchor points. There's probably going to be some here, probably some here, and then probably some like right here. So let's do that. As you can see, I did end up losing one of the anchors. Was able to use pliers to just take it out real quick. Thankfully it came out. So as you can see, we've got an anchor right here, an anchor right there, one right here, got some right here, and we got one right here. So there we go. So now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side, making sure you're going for the anchor points. So for this one, it's going to be the corner, middle, and then being extra careful for these two. Just from taking those 3 push pins out, it's already starting to hang, so that's good. That means it's coming out. why the camera overheated. You saw it fall off a little bit. Reason being because the bottom right here, 1, 2, 3, those are the only plastic fasteners that were holding it up, besides the ones that we took out. So that's why it fell out. Looks like there wasn't any in the middle, so everything came out pretty nice. And now to swap it out with black interior. Here's one of them. You guys need it. Pretty small size. This one might possibly be from the looks of it. It could be maybe one of the roof ones. And then this guy is for all the other stuff. So let's see if I can get one. This is what it's gonna look like. Pretty standard one that we've been seeing, that I've said that we were gonna replace quite often. It's gonna be this guy. And then I also have these one. I think is this the same? It is the same. So I got 10 of these guys, both the same color. And then these 3 are for the door panels. And then this is going to be for probably most of the things that we're going to need. The push pin ones, I did not order those. I'm probably just going to try to see if I can find them to reuse. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go order the black ones. But honestly, not a big deal, because those plastic fasteners, most of them aren't going to even be noticeable. But in the case that I might want to do it just for like the small things, I will go order the black one. But as you can see right here, all laid out, these are all the black ones from the 2007 SC430 part out. So you can see black visor, dome light, rear view mirror, got a couple of the pillars and garnishes, and then the roof in the back there. So now let's put this thing back together, starting with the roof. We're gonna start putting those plastic fasteners, so it's most likely gonna be grabbing 3 of these guys to put on there. So upon looking it over again, I was wrong. It's actually these really small ones right here. So make sure you order the right parts. Put them in correctly. Now, to get the side pieces, and then figure out where the push pins are, because I need to go find those. Okay, so here are the plastic fasteners. So these 2 here are the ones that were on the side, both sides. And then we got the 3 push pins for the top right there, those white pieces. So got the roof lining right here. So now to put her back on. Sure it's nice, snug in there, and then you want to push the actual pin to secure it in place like so. Super easy, just a little bit of extra work, that is all. Next step is to put the side garnishes on the ceiling. We're going to leave this empty because remember, when we close the roof again, we're going to have to manually tighten it, so I'm leaving this open. Everything's popped in nice, nothing's hanging around. A little bit of dirt, no problem. So next up, we're gonna do the back piece over here. So now that we're in the back seat, got all brand new plastic fasteners, as you can see, in white. We got the 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. We're gonna slap it all on. Make sure all the anchor points are aligned. Make sure all the fasteners pop in as they should. The next step would be the sides again, the pillars. Alright, so for the side pillars, we have our plastic fasteners here. They still look in okay condition, so they're still going to be reusable. And then remember how we had the very small pin right here that was super skinny? I made sure to take it out. Make sure the mount for it is still in there as well. So let's put this bad boy in, and then we'll put the plastic fastener in last, that skinny one. This is easy. Yeah. And then now we're going to put it in the little pin. Now continuing with the other side. Right, so now that we got this side already, as you can see, now we just need to do this pillar. Remember how we had the 3 screws? 1, 2, 3. And then the one piece down here, there is a little hole in this bar a little bit farther down to insert one of the plastic fasteners. So we're going to do that for both sides. And then we'll then move on to the dome at a later time, probably in the morning, because it's getting a little bit too dark to record. What's going on, SC430 community? I know it's been probably quite a few months since I recorded the video on how to basically disassemble and reassemble the roof lining of the SC430, because I was going from beige to black. Right when we got to the dome, I guess for whatever reason, files corrupted, or I lost the files, or something happened, because when I was editing them, I was planning on having it come out around December, just before I started Operation Frankenstein, and then found out that I couldn't find the footage. So now I'm going to show you how to finish up putting everything together, but today obviously I'm not in my SC430. We're going to be working on Frank here. So without further ado, it's still going to be the same thing. This is an 02, and then the video when I was doing on my SC430 is also an 02. So there shouldn't be any differences, besides the fact that I'm putting beige into this car instead of the black from when I actually did it back in September or something like that. So we're going to get started by putting back the rear view mirror. So if you remember from last time, we basically, there was like a clip right up here, took that out, and then the mirror itself, we did a quarter turn, or almost a quarter turn, a quarter turn, and then the whole mirror popped out, and then we unplugged this cord, and there was an anchor point for the cord. So got the mirror right here. So we're going to do the same thing but in reverse order. So we're going to go in like that, turn, it'll pop right in, and then plug in the cord, and then the anchor, we're going to anchor it in where it's supposed to be. Notice how tremendously easy it is to work in an SC430 without the front passenger seats, right? So put this in, should pop in, and then turn it, and it should pop right in easy. Then we're going to plug it in, and then we're going to put it in that anchor point. And then we're going to put that cover piece that goes right here. So we got this guy here. So pay attention to how it's set up. Got the 2 anchors up here on the top and then the 2 on the sides. So I believe we want to go in like so. That just simply went in towards the bottom first and then went to the sides and then popped in each side. So now it's nice and smooth. So then from there, we will move on to the whole entire piece that goes right here. Alright, so got the centerpiece here. So pay attention to this little cutout here. That's where the wiring for the rear view mirror. And then we want to pay attention to this side, the anchor points right here. Those go into this little metal piece right here. It goes right in between the rubber. It might be difficult to see, but there is a cutout for it where it's supposed to go. And then this piece right here with the hole, they're on both sides. That is for this one right here. So make sure when you're putting it in, make sure it pops in nice and smooth. Also be careful with the wiring. You do want to make sure the wiring does go through the hole. So when we plug back in the visors, there you go, pops in pretty smooth. And then there is the plastic fasteners that go on those holes that I just mentioned. It's going to be these guys. They're very, very tiny. So we're going to put those in. Like so. Pretty easy. The next step would be to you want to put these pieces in. If you still have them, they do have the tendency to break all the time. I probably mentioned that months ago when I recorded it, of me taking it off. So I'm gonna go check to see if I have some extras for Frank here. It's not necessarily needed, but again, it's mostly just for cosmetic to cover the metal piece, because this part is for the locking mechanism, right? So when the roof goes all the way in, it goes into here and then it locks it up in place. So I'm gonna go check to see if I have extra ones. So from the looks of it, I don't have any. They probably were all completely broken. So oh well, too bad. It's not needed, but as a reminder though, for when you put yours back in, want to make sure there is a white clip on the piece that goes on here. It's on it's pretty thick. There's a white clip that pops into here, and then you have a plastic fastener, or well, it's not a plastic fastener, but attached to that whole piece that goes here, there's a little stub that actually fits perfectly into here. It doesn't, I don't think it pops in. I might be wrong. I think it might pop in a little bit, but it's not like super difficult to put on, and then it just snaps right into place. So it's the same thing on both ends. So since I don't got it, we're just gonna move on, and we're gonna move on by putting those visors on. So you want to make sure, plug it in right, and then we have 2 Phillips head screws. Phillips head screws should look like this, almost look like a cone. Remember, since we are putting these Phillips head screws, it's going to be a metallic Phillips head screw onto plastic and then onto the frame of the car. So you want to make these tight, but you don't want to make them crazy tight, otherwise you will break the visor. Okay, so then from there, we're going to put the cover back on. That just hides the Phillips head screws. Doesn't matter which side which one it goes to whatever side, because they are both the same, I believe. Check. Yep, they're both the same. So those there's clips on these, one at the top, one here, and one right here. So just make sure when you're putting it in, make sure it pops in. You should hear some nice click. It fits nicely now. It's not hanging around. I think it, yep, it's good. Just like that. So now we're gonna do the same thing with the other side, but we're gonna finish up by putting this piece back in. So this one is a special mechanism. Let me see if I have one that isn't broken. These are broken, but I'm gonna try to see if I can still use them. But when we took these out, we turned it, I believe, 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then the whole thing would come out. But the problem with these, after a while, this clip on the end will snap on one side or both. So obviously this one has one, and then that one has one, and that one has one, unfortunately. So a bunch of mine are broken, but I'm gonna see if they can still do the job, because I currently have one that's still up in there, so hopefully that one is still good. So I was able to get it out. Reason I ended up taking it out, because there was a piece. So when I did the part out video for this car and was demoing this, this end snapped and inside there. So that's why you can see there's quite a bit of a chunk missing compared to this. So as you can see, it's missing that top knob piece that kind of sits into the white plastic fastener at the top. So there's that. So I'm just gonna see if I can. Here we go. Here's a better example. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna put that on with this. So there is a specific way to put it in. So I'm gonna put this in first. But just go like that. Pops in pretty easy. And then this, we go in like this, and then turn. Boom, like that. So it should be nice and snug. This is this piece is really old on that clip that I put in there, so that's why it's not super tight, but it should be tight. If it breaks, they are quite expensive, honestly, for such a small piece. So you want to be very careful when you take it out and put it back in, because I know if I yank it too hard, that will break again. And then the same thing with this one. Since I'm missing a tab on one side, it's obviously not going to be a perfect tight fit. But I don't really use the visors much, really, and I'm pretty careful anyways. So, and well, now that I know I'm building this, right, I'm going to be very careful taking that out if I do use it. But now we're going to put the visor and the clip on that side. And then the clip. I just realized I swapped them. Make sure you put it on the right side, because now I have the mirrors facing the wrong way. Alright, well, it is what it is. I am going to swap this real quick. Alright, so after correcting my silly mistake, I'm going to now put in the dome light. So the dome light takes 2 Phillips head screws. And then make sure you want to plug this in, right? It's going to be on the driver's side of where to plug it in. So while we're doing that, I'll put the bulbs back in as well. So plug this in. then to put this in, you want to do this end first, basically the end towards the windshield. Like that, and then you should be able to pop it in like that. And then put in the 2 Phillips head screws. So next up is putting the covers back on. So make sure we put in the correct one. You want to start on the inside part first, and then click in on the outside. So for the driver's side, you go like this. So I have it currently off because I'm going to be taking this off later anyways for another video. And then same thing with this one. Go on the inside first. And then pops right in. There you go. So from there, onto the pillar right here. And then work our way towards this way. And then we'll be done. Alright, so now we're going to put that pillar back in. I believe it should be this one. So we want to pay attention to this piece that's kind of sticking out. And then we want to make sure we have those 2 clips. You can buy those at the dealership. If you're looking for it, you can always ask for it. It's you would either give them this, or it's just ask for the clips for the interior. A-pillars is what they referenced it as. If not, you may see them in the hole. So you want to be careful when you use pliers to get them out, because if you accidentally push it in, right, it's gonna go into the frame and it's gone basically forever. But other than that, to put it in, we want to put that little notch into this hole right here. And then once we do that, we pop it in place. Pretty simple to do. Alrighty, so it should pop in nice and smooth, lines up very well. And then the next step is to put the piece that goes in between here. You can see the clips. This is attached to the rubber. So there should be just those 2. It's good. Make sure you use the correct side. That straight edge is going to be on the outside of the car, and then the curved edge on the inside. And then those clips I was mentioning about, it would go into, and notice how there's a divot right here. It's going to go into this hole right here. And then those 2 gold looking clips, it's going to be for this tab here, this tab here. And then this hole will be for the scuff plate that we put it back on. So I'm going to first put this in into the hole, trying to do it with one hand. That pops in. And then we're just gonna line this up with that gold little clip sticking on the outside. You can readjust the gold clip if you need to, if it, for whatever reason, shifted when we took it out. So now for the scuff plate. Make sure to plug it in. Got a wire here. Again, the gold clips on the inside. Yep, and then there's the hole that it goes into. And then these holes are for the plastic fasteners. Again, plastic fasteners on the outside. And then little plastic divots for the gold clips that are attached to the rubber. And then obviously got our cord here. should pop in nice and smooth like that. Everything should line up very well, nice and tight. And then there you go. We're done on this side. So now we're going to do the same exact thing, but on the passenger side. There's a little hole on the inside for this guy, and then we have our 2 clips. And then the hole up on the top. And then lining up with the gold pieces on the inside. So there you guys have it. So that's how you basically do the entire roof lining, right? So from here all the way to the back, the entire roof. It does take quite a bit of time to do. It's not difficult, but it's just a lot of steps because you want to make sure you do it the right way. I apologize that there was quite a big time lapse from when I initially recorded the video until now, just because of video corruption or I lost it. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.